It is July 13th, 2017, and here are a look of some of my African violets. And I'm still growing them. I've been growing out a lot of seedlings lately, but I decided to, show off some of the plants that are in bloom. These are some species plants. This is Centpalia Diplotricha Parker, I believe. It has the light blue blossoms. You have Syninga magnantis minima right here. It's a trailing habit and it's a small plant, so I plan to hybridize with it if it ever comes into bloom. You can see that's one of the Buckeye. I think it's Cranberry Sparkler. This here is Outer Limit. It has the nice fantasy blossoms. And you have Rainbow's Quiet Riot in the back. And these are essentially plants that I want to do some sort of hybridizing work with. They're either going to be seed parents or pollen parents. And that's that one. These are some of my more advanced African violets. I've kept them disbudded because I haven't had time to really take care of them, and so it's just easier to manage them without the blossoms. So this one here is one of my hybrids. It's unnamed. I just kept it because I like the foliage, and yeah, and it has a nice symmetrical shape. This is Valentina. It's a species, and I'm growing it double ground. Yeah, it's two plants in one pot. This is Caramel's Rare Jewel. I did a video on it earlier. I need to take care of it a little bit more. I usually use this plant to give away leaves, so I give leaves away of it when I go places, so it's a little bit smaller. This is a Optimara plant. May just trash it and start over. It had two crowns. I just let it grow out because I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So now it looks like a sort of a monster. So I'll probably just take leaves and start over. This one is Red Lion. It's a larger plant, but I haven't had a chance to repot it yet. It's still in a glass container, so I'll get to it soon. And these are just some other plants. This is a species Grandifolia. This is one of my hybrids that I've been removing leaves off of. That's why it's a smaller plant. And this is a dying Optimara plant as well. On the top rack here are some of my hybrids. They're not doing so well. I'm not sure what's going on in my growing room. I have them on wicks, and you can tell, at least for this one, it's not doing well with the wick watering. So I need to take a little moment and deal with that. But this is one of my Clackamas hybrids. It has fantasy blossoms. You can't really tell here. I should put a leaf down of it because it's not looking so great, is it? Some other ones are also some hybrids of mine. Nothing too spectacular. I'm just keeping them for the moment before I make the ultimate decision of whether or not to cull them. This is a larger plant of Caramel's Rare Jewel, and I need to sort of deal with that. It's sort of unruly as well too. I just knocked this one over. Let's see. And these are some Optimara plants growing in a shoebox or something. This is Optimara Surprise. And you can tell that I've been doing some pollinating with it. You can see the seed pods right, let me see, here. There you go. Can you see it? And that's crossing one of the fantasy outer limits that I showed earlier. And yeah, I just got them all in a shoebox that have holes drilled into them. Alright. This was another one. This is Kay's Lilac Infusion. It's variegated. It has nice, large pansy blossoms. And I've been making crosses with them. That's why you see all these tags. But it's a nice plant. And here is another species of grandifolia. I like the textured leaves on this one. And on the row below this one is some more plants that I'm growing out here. Excuse me. You have Rainbow's Quiet Rite in the back, and the little tags mean that I've crossed it with something. And you also have some of my Clackamas hybrid that I showed in the earlier video. So this one has a nice bicolor blossoms. You can see the Clackamas foliage shape. You also see another one right here, and one in the back. Again, I don't sure what's going on now, but I had several other Clackamas plants, but they sort of died off because of watering issues. So I'm not sure this setup of you have the grid here and you have water underneath it it's working, I guess, in the summertime because it's keeping things perhaps too wet. You have some other hybrids that I've made here. These are a cross of the regular species Ionantha with the light colored species Diplotricha that I showed earlier. And so the blossoms came out intermediate between the two of them, sort of a light blue, but not as light blue as the Diplotricha plant. So these are all siblings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wanted something that had lighter blue blossoms, and I think this one right here is the best one of the bunch. You can see the textured leaves of its Diplotricha parent, and compare that to this one in the back. The leaves aren't as distinctive, so that one may get discarded. This one is a good one, but I think this one has better foliage, and the ones in the back are just okay. So that's just a plain Optimara plant. I have some other African violets that I need to groom up down here. These are my original Clackamas hybrid right there. I call this one Clackamas 1 because I couldn't think of a name, and it was my first Clackamas plant. So those two are some hybrids by my friend of the Carmel series, right here, and that's one of my hybrids. It's a cross with Evergrace. I think I call it Purple multifluorescence trait. It blooms a lot, so I just like to use it in crosses just to improve the blossom count of hybrids. And that's semi-miniature. I think that's Optimara Clementine. These are some other African violets that I need to tend to and separate, and some other Gesneriads as well. So, and here are a bunch of species right here. They're also growing in shoe boxes. I've drilled holes at the top. That's one of my Clackamas plants. And I think it's another one in the back. So I have a lot of, I'm still growing African violets. I need to organize myself a little bit better in the plant room. I just came from a plant show, and I said I would tend to these when I got back. So I shall be organizing things and getting things in better position. Yeah. At the moment, I'm really happy about this one. It has a nice foliage shape, and I like the blossoms. This is a cross of the Amor Elite one plant and Clackamas 1. That's essentially the parent of all the Clackamas plants that I'm growing right now. So those are the African violets. Show you a bit more. And Rainbow's Quiet Rite. This is another one of my Carmel's plants. This is Carmel Antique Porcelain. It's multiple plants in a container. I need to separate them, but that's it. Another Clackamas plant right here and right here. And that's a species, Grotia trailer. These are all primolinas, so they're not violets. Although people call them Asian violets, which is actually effective. But those are the plants. And this is a pink version or Clackamas plant as well too. So that's it.